Ali, 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 yeah. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. Islam, Islam, Islam. Moorish America. We're going to rise upon the 7 and give all praises to the great God Allah, our Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin, once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves, excuse me, by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal, Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything, and I do mean everything, that our holy prophet brought to make us a nation. I want to welcome you to another grand drawing in the late night library session. We tapped in because we ain't going to be long, but we definitely got a measure to bring to the manifest that needs to be brought to the attention of our family. You know, and it's going to be a grand drawing. You know, we're going to cover a little bit of teaching, of course, but by the same token, at another degree of unfoldment, you know, I'm going to touch on a few things. And we want to let our family know exactly what's going on so that they can see what the business is. And they can actually see the real truth. So let me go to try to pulling up this source right here real quick. And I'm going to come into this particular drawing, bring something forth from the Book of Fire. Definitely bring a reading forth from the Book of Fire. Like I said, ain't going to be long, but I'm going to definitely be strong with this special measure. So this is going to be a grand drawing. For the people that don't see it now, they will see it when they raise up in a few hours. We got some real business to bring to the manifest tonight that y'all most definitely have to know, or this morning rather. Just give me 1 second here. I'm looking right now through my Book of Fire. We're going to use this and lay a foundation because it's necessary that ones have the knowledge of exactly what's going on. We're not here to play. We're going to always bring you the truth. And this is going to be very fulfilling for those who are looking to learn something. When you learn something, you can truly earn something when it comes to dealing with the knowledge of the self and this information. Just give me 1 second here. I'm almost there. I'm just trying to pull this up. And once I pull this up, I'm going to give this to you all. We got some real hard truth to come to the people right now, family. Yeah, we finna let the cat out the bag. Yeah, it's time to let the cat out the bag. Let me see, I'm gonna check. Okay. All right, Brother Idris, I'm glad you're here. You got to see this right here, family. Watch this. And this is crazy here that I'm getting ready to show you. Just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to pull a measure because I'm going to lay a foundation through the Book of Fire. And I want to put this out here. And I'm going to share it as soon as I get to it. I'm in the area where I need to be. But I'm just getting ready to pull this up in a second here. There we go. That's it right there. We going straight at them. We ain't even playing. There we go. And you see the subject title, right, Brother Idris? They swore to conceal and never reveal. You know, what do we mean by this right here? You already know what time it is. We getting ready to let the cat out the bag. So consider yourself thrice blessed. We're going to give you some good insight on certain things too. Because we're going to go into this conspiracy to cover up, you know, the truth. We're going to do that. But we want to make sure that our family can see exactly what's going on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually start with what I have here. Before I go into anything and present any other information, I'm going to go into this first. And I'm going to share my entire screen to make sure that you can see what's going on. So I want to start with this. And I'm coming from the Book of Fire. And I'm going to start right here. Prince Hall, 1735, 1807. Prince Hall, and I want y'all to listen to the characteristics of this, is unquestionably recognized as the founder of Masonry for men of color in America. Today, there are 44 Grand Lodges with more than 500,000 free Negro Masons. All Negro Masons can trace their heritage through this special brother. As history would have it, Prince Hall was a Barbados freeborn of an English father, and a French mother of African descent. The only trick with his free birth was 1 drop of African blood in the British colonies, pre-United States. Meant a carrier, was still classified as a Negro. His master, Mr. William Hall, freed him after 21 years of slavery within the Hall family. Hence, the reader is encouraged to recall on the scale of free national citizens, there is no distinction between a Negro slave and a free Negro. They are both Negro property. Also, the reader may find it hard to avoid the constant recurrences of England and France, always in the picture wherever slavery and masonry are twin-rooted. In fact, the foursome is inseparable. The true reasons why the very height of all black masonry, black Shriners, although they are identical to the real Scottish, York Rites, and Shriners, can never be recognized by England's Grand Temple. is the worse than aforementioned. Although Prince Hall used his freedman's status to try to free his brothers who were dead, it ultimately had to be forbidden and denied. Truth is, Prince Hall, the Negro, was free to be accepted as only a Negro who was allowed to carry the title of Mason. This practice of allowing the coloreds to demonstrate and imitate their version of European culture was rapidly becoming an accepted dramatization in the West. In years to come, this would expand to the social realms of European religions, schools, communities, businesses, and politics. In short, wherever massa went, the slave was sure to follow. Whatever he ate, the leavings was just fine. And whatever victory over people of color was worth celebrating for the NBC, the European called themselves white, and everyone else was less than godly. Hence, Prince Hall was called and accepted as a Negro. But can there ever be freedom in being what the slave masters have named you to be? So all these titles people like to take up, especially when we get into scientific racism, even when we get into aspects where we have people trying to label themselves primates and being called that, it ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. True freedom can only be manifested naturally in the heaven of one's own proper status. Pay attention. Members of the old Negro Lodge, not having a nationality or government of their own, were used as spies and double agent spies via the European York and Scottish Rite orders for both the crown and the colonies. In fact, very little has changed in nearly 300-year-old Negro order. Today, under the posted up stations of pastors, bishops, administrators, politicians, educators, businessmen, black masons are paid, invested with power by the federal, state, and local governments to keep a finger on the pulse of Hiram. Man, that's cold-blooded. When somebody checking, they trying to make sure, is he dead? They watching over our people. That shallow grave, family. The coma status of Hiram must never rise to the level of his own national consciousness. His free and ancient name must be kept in the strictest of secrecy. If they knew, they still could not tell because they are Masons. Yeah, right. Now, our chairman, he don't even play. You see what I'm saying? So he go into all of this insight right here, but it get deeper. So I want to just get to the point with the few that's right here that's here. Everybody else will hear this when it's time for them to hear it. Everybody else will get this when it's time for them to get it. Because we finna expose these people, brother born dog. You finna hear this right here. Watch this. Now, you know what we was talking about last night with these characters. Watch this. I want to show you somebody real quick before I even go into this. Let me see if it let me pull this up. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. This is one of the people your guy, Reggie, always praised himself as being a follower of. Professor Leonard Jeffries. You see what I'm saying? This is one of his teachers that he always liked to tie himself to, right? And I just want to let you know that this guy right here, was actually a member, of these different secret societies or whatever. He was into masonry and the boule and all of that right there, right? And if you go and look his history up, you can find a lot of that stuff because he don't really try to hide it too much. but he definitely had some Masonic ties. I'm trying to pull that one thing because I actually had a article with all of the history. I'm gonna see if it let me pull it up right here. This is the guy, one of Leonard Jeffries, supposed to be Reggie's teacher. You know, he studied law. He was part of a bunch of different groups, but he definitely was a Mason, and he definitely was also a part of. And I can see he also was basically an associate of Milena Karina, a known operative that worked against the Panthers as well. Big facts. He was connected with the Rockefeller Foundation, you know, and a couple of other individuals, and claimed to be Pan-Africanists. You see? So these individuals, and there are a couple of more of them. Let me see if it'll pull it up. Let me see if it'll pull it up. Did they put it here? They hiding it, huh? They trying to hide it. Yeah, but he definitely attended some of them different things, the Omega Sci-Fi and all. Yeah, they got me, brother. They got me. Yeah, they got me. But we're going to go ahead and do this right here like this because they won't let me put my little picture up there. You know, you see that? We going in, bro. We ain't playing, bro. We finna give it to you because we don't hide. You know what I mean? But they got it. I'm going to see if I can share this again, family. You know, and if they shut me down, I'm going to just come back in. Yeah, they cold-blooded. That's funny. Hold up. Okay, there we go. I think it's somebody probably reporting my video, family. Low key, to be honest with you. Excuse me. Okay. Hold up. Let me grab this here. Okay. So yeah, y'all finna get the truth. So it's all good. We finna start sharing, and I'm gonna check back just to make sure I'm still sharing. So hold up. Here we go. Right here. Check this out right here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Prophet Noble Drew Ali received his name Noble in front of his name, good brother. Um, yeah, some wars they got the name Noble because they into that Masonic stuff. You know what I mean? Which they don't supposed to be a part of, but they into that Shriner stuff. But Noble Drew Ali got his name because it simply means Sharif. Sharif was a part of his name, and Sharif, is basically the essence of his name, and it deals with the noble. You know what I mean? So that's where that come from. And a lot of these other Moors, they just trying to take the same title, to act like that they are the same, cut from the same cloth the prophet is, or whatever. Now El means creator, and Bay means governor. So the normal titles you're gonna see Moors have is gonna be El and Bay. So I'm gonna share this screen real quick so you can see this here, brother. You got to see this right here. This is crazy. They keep shitting me down. I'm gonna see if I can do it now. It should be all right to share it. Okay, there we go. I already got it open, so here we go.
So
You got to
on
think
his
about the
show,
elders.
so
You got to
on
think
his
about the
show,
elders, Reggie.
I
Son, I didn't
do.
feel you. I didn't say treat him foul, but
Yeah,
when to cut somebody off who lying and to put him in the jam with some truth real quick. Like, hold up, you just said this. What about this?
right. But I was if there. Listen, he was reading translated Metanetra text. So once he started reading that, I told him there's a transliterations. You're reading the Demotic
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
translated. You're done. Then I hit him with Walter Williams. You say the Metanetra is not deciphered. Do you agree with Walter Williams? Walter Williams, in his appendix, he uncites a source that shows that the Metanetra has he's using the Metanetra alphabet. This is Walter. This is the great Walter Williams. I hit him with that. So I don't want to be.
You did though. You did though. You're right. You
Yeah.
saw he.
So you see right there, that lets you know that Smash was upset with your boy because he wanted him to go at me. You know what I mean? He wanted Reggie to go at me. You see what I'm saying? And Reggie let him know I was on it. That's why I came at him in this particular way, right? This what he did. Now watch this. It get greater than this, brother. Watch this, brother Barnyard. Watch this.
Yeah, he just lied and tried to say, "Let me show you something. Let me teach."
Yeah, family, they definitely own it, but we real stubborn over here, so we ain't laying down with it. We gonna keep bringing you this truth. So check it out, family. Y'all just hang in there with me. Every time they shut it down, I'm gonna come back in here. You know what I mean? Till they get tired, cause you know my computer don't never go off like that there. So we already know what time it is. What?
Show you something, let me teach.
Yeah.
This platform is not for you to teach because you can teach on your channel and nobody watches it. So you want to come to the big stage, but because I'm running Sarnetta's show, I can't treat him. I have to be neutral on Sarnetta's show. He'll call me up and I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear the extra stuff.
So you see what he said about Sa? He said he got to treat me neutral. You know, he letting smash, like, why you letting that dude rock? You know, why you let him get that stuff off? So he said, you know, I got to treat him neutral because Sa called me and be going at me. I don't want to hear that extra stuff, right? So in other words, he letting you know, that he was with your boy. And that's why they was trying to shut me down the other night, right? It's just crazy to sit here and listen to these guys and hear them. And then I'm saying the dude moderating good. You feel me? I'm like, man, you doing some good moderating all the while. That dude, really he working against me. Watch this right here. Watch this.
So when you came off, right? You came off. I didn't cut you, but I was trying to.
You're right. You're right. I did. I said I'm out. I mean, I just went out.
Right, and then I'm like, okay, so I'm not stopping him, right? But I'm letting him kill himself.
Yeah, you're right. My words were not big words. I said you was out of pocket letting him run amok. That's all.
Oh, but when you say it to me,
but he was running amok though.
See, he considered me being able to speak. Yeah, Sa got respect for me, born dog. We ain't talking about Sa. We talking about them. You feel me? And so Sa is getting at him. He's saying when he calls Sa getting at him when he doing that type of stuff. You feel me? So he telling Smash that he don't want Sa to get at him. You feel me? So he got to show me, he got to try to be neutral. But he let it be known. And then Smash say, but you was letting him run him up. What? Giving my portion of the understanding? You understand what I'm saying? If I'm on the panel and Sa called me on there and he leave the panel, I got just as much as right to speak as everybody else. But because you have opposition toward me, you understand? Now you don't want me to get on there and do my thing. You see what I'm saying? And you let Smash come on and you want him to have his way. And Smash went off on it. Even when the other brother, like Smash, let the brother die. Don't cut me off, young man. I got this right here, whatever. You see? So Smash didn't want to hear nothing I said last night. You understand? He wasn't trying to have no dialogue. So when y'all seen him doing what he was doing that on purpose, basically. And that's why he said Reggie, was letting me run him up. Exactly, being biased. You see what I'm saying? He let them run him up because he with them. You see what I'm saying? He on their side. They together. So that whole thing was an attack on me. They can't get in the ring and deal with the information as they should. But that's all Masonic tactics is what I'm trying to show y'all. Because Reggie in the Masonry, and my spirit tell me even Smash in the Masonry. You know what I mean? But I know Reggie for a fact is into initiation. He done said it before. You understand? So looking at it from that standpoint, this is why they are trying to suppress what it is that's being brought against them. This is the type of tactics they deal with. Everybody else is what they want them to be. Commission ain't what they want me to be. You understand? They can't control me, and they know they can't control me. You see? Peace, Neo, peace and love. Yeah, so they know they can't control me. And that's why they doing exactly what they doing, family. Now, I'm going to show you another measure. They had erased the other videos I showed y'all. And if it shut me down, just sit back and I'm going to come right back in because I'm finna get into exposing why these dudes don't know what they're trying to tell y'all they know. Listen to this.
One thing about commission, he got a mean. He's a slippery dude, man. He
No,
be
he's
on his
not.
pivot, man.
He's not slippery. He's
He be
not
on his
any of those
pivot, man.
exceptions.
He always changes up his argument.
Yeah, because he get caught, and then he see people not going for it, and so I said, okay, let him get a taste of Magi. So I had a lot to say about him, right? But I said, no, 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 no. So when you came back on, then the whole show was just you and him. Even though other people was waiting, I was like, no, they're gonna throw interference, right? So let's commission deal with you. And then I had some side notes, but I showed my side notes.
Yeah.
You so
Real, not to cut you off, Real Thought just coined something that was good. He said, he said facts that I think he talking to somebody else, but he said something about sympathy for something pseudo.
One thing about commission.
So that's he said he quoting real thought saying something about having sympathy for a pseudo. Now this all was going on. This the cat came up in here last night and tried to get me to go over there. This cat Zoo Tidu, he one of them cats. He like to throw rocks and hide his hand. He like to throw little slick stuff out there, but he don't want to get on the front line. You know what I mean? And Real Thought, he the same way. You know what I mean? He'll like to throw stuff out there, but he don't want to get on the front line. They yes men. That's what I don't respect about a lot of these cats. They ain't got their own mind because they want to be accepted. So they scared to say the stuff that I say. You understand? So they feel like if we click up with them, then we cool. We can get on here with nobody got to say nothing, but I ain't got to never put my information up. So they ain't put no information up here. So they're going to just get on here to criticize me and ride against me. And they think that that's going to make them founded. But what it's going to do is put them in a bad situation because I'm going at them too now. You know what I mean? I ain't even playing with them. Anybody that step up, in the trenches, they gets it. You know what I mean? And one of them, you see all of them running from a real sit down. That's all I'm talking about. Let's get in the rain. Let's get in the rain. And you heard the brother, and I ain't even got to play that one, but y'all heard him last night. You know what? For good measure, we'll do it. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to run.
Right. And that's why, I'm coming on and doing what I'm doing, because he done said some things that's not agreeable, but at the same time, how he's going hard on the Bay Area, I can't let it happen. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this, that he's completely right. The meta nature, what he's explained, it has not been deciphered, right? Now, but what I asking him to do to get off my brother Smash for, I give him some information to tear down the Moors, completely tear down the Moors. But but at the same time, far as what is being translated, he's completely right.
So y'all see this right here, and he don't want that smoke. He just talking, cause he get it, mess around and get in there with me. I'll tear the lining out of him too. But you see, he admit, yeah, commission right about the metal netter not being deciphered, but he got to stop going at my brother Smash. So it's like some religious type game banging type stuff. You feel me? My brother from the Bay Area. Okay, if I'm right, I'm right. What about all the extra stuff? I'm gonna give him something to tear down the Moor. Bro, you can't say nothing about the Moors that ain't already been said. And I done debunked all that garbage. I wait for him to come up in here with that foolishness with me. You see what I'm saying? Now watch this. Now I'm finna get in here and show y'all some stuff that's undeniable. And I want y'all to pay close attention to what I'm showing y'all, because I'm finna get into some things that's very important, to show y'all that these guys don't know what they be talking about when they talk about they dealing with the metal netter. You see? Yeah, that you right. You right. You right. Well, Neo Soul, that's exactly why they fear the information that I'm bringing. You know what I mean? They don't want the people to hear what I'm saying, because I'm very articulate with what I say, and I'm very clear with what I say. You know, I'm not convoluted in my conversation. What I say, I make it so plain to where a baby can understand it. That's why they try to get in and cut it off, and they want me to get in a back and forth with them. You ain't gonna never see me get on there cussing and all that there. That ain't me. I don't vibe like that, because I know me, the old me. You know, I look at them like, you know, all right, yeah, I hear you talking, man. All that stuff don't mean nothing. But they do that to try to trigger a response. You know what I mean? It's to try to get you in out of your character, because they can't deal with the information. But right there, you see, they went on that call and got on the call and did a video and had my name in the video. You can go on the channel. And that's what they were saying. You know, bro, why you let him run amok? And Reggie like, no, you know, I had my stuff to say about him. So you already know Reggie didn't want to hear what I was saying neither, even though he was pretending. And that's what I'd be saying. I don't like the fakeness, man, and the phony. You see what I'm saying? You know, if you disagree with me, it's cool. That's all right. But let me show y'all something. We finna expose a lot of this nonsense right here, dealing with this created language that Champol. I'm gonna show you how easy it is. And I did this before, and this caused the argument too. They tried to shut it down. But I'm gonna demonstrate this right here for y'all as well. Oh yeah, Reggie went on Smash Channel. That was last night when we got off, or while we was on Barn Dog. That's what they was doing. And they said a lot more than that. I just brought in the stuff, you know, that was showing how devious these dudes is. All the while, they never intended to hear me speak. You see, so that's why every time I started speaking, you seen it when I ran the video back last night. Not now time that I cut over them dudes. They cut in on me every time, bro. I sat there peacefully, listened to what they said. Then they came and chopped into me every time. Then Smash jumped off. And then when I gave the draw and exposing, you know, the information about the Ptolemies, you know, he really got upset. Like, man, why you let him do that? Because now I'm showing the Rosetta Stone, and none of them don't even know how I did that or where I got that from. And I got hundreds of papyri. I ain't even went all the way into it. And some of that stuff, like I said, they literally in there, our ancestors in there basically, you know, recording like these people making us, you know, stand out here in the sun, you know, and bake to death. You know, and I showed y'all who the people is, you know, in that time period that was controlling, you know, the narrative. So what I kept trying to show them, the people talking about, you just came from a transliterated text. It wasn't no hieroglyphics. I came from Demotic. I didn't come from no hieroglyphics teaching you no hieroglyphics. You see, but they was trying to make the people think that. You see what I'm saying? Like people ignorant or like people dumb. They think the people dumb. So what I'm finna show y'all is very important. And some of y'all, if y'all paid attention, you know, with us, you can see it. Watch this. I'm gonna show you why I, you know, say what I say, because they don't understand, brother. You know, I can go into that, like I say, the pictorials and, you know, go into all that stuff, bro. I got all that type of stuff, but that's not my methodology. You see what I'm saying? That's not my methodology. I'm telling them Champollion created his own methodology. You see? And his methodology is not the methodology of the ancient Egyptians. According to scientists, Champollion's hieroglyphics would be considered pseudo-hieroglyphs. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm finna show you something. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Let me open this right. But it's already shared, but I'm gonna open this back up because it shut them down when they had them in there a few minutes ago. And let me go back to probably kick my little information off of here too, because I didn't save this portion. Let me see. Okay, look like it's still there. So all is well. Let me take this here. And this is gonna be straightforward and to the point. I want to show y'all something. I want y'all to pay close attention to this. Okay. Now, for those who are familiar with language, this is what they call Meroitic, right? Meroitic. This is the Meroitic alphabet. This Meroitic alphabet is the alphabet of Nubia. And they say that this alphabet derived from the hieroglyphics. Not these per se, right? But just symbols that was on the wall. But I want to show you something about these Meroitic because there are actually two different scripts here. This one they are telling you is a pictorial script, right? This one up under it is a cursive script that's supposed to correspond with these particular letters here, right? But this script is actually derived, this script here, not the pictures, is actually a mixture of hieratic and demotic. But they are not, the same words. They took certain symbols and made them their own. So it's a totally different thing when you compare them to the hieratic or directly to the demotic. But some of the letters are the same as far as dealing with the symbols, but not the actual alphabet portion of it. But I'm showing you this for a reason. This is the normal alphabet chart that they say represent the Egyptian hieroglyphs. Now they say this represents the letter A, right? And without this chart in front of me, I have the knowledge where I can do and say, yeah, this is represent B, this is, I can go into all that type of stuff. But like I say, that's not me dealing with their methodology. I don't do that. But I'm finna expose something to y'all that's finna blow y'all mind. Now, this Meroitic has not yet been deciphered. You see what I'm saying? Nobody has really been able to crack the code on this here, right? Even though they got this script right here on the bottom of it, they ain't been able to really decipher none of the text of Meroitic. You see what I'm saying? People have attempted, but they ain't deciphered it. It's not considered a deciphered language. But I want you to see something. Now, this is older than what Champollion came up with, but this is not, of the ancient Egyptians. This is of what they call, again, the Cushites. This is Cushite, you see. Now, we know that Tarseti was established, by Cushites, but those who later became known as Egyptians were different people. They were the same people as far as dealing with being African, but they were different people in the terms of being separated in the tribes. So it is said that they took their symbols too from the monuments that was out there, in that particular area, because they was right there in the same region. Now, I want to show you the comparison of this one because they say this one's is deciphered, right? This is the one, the hieroglyphics that's supposed to be deciphered. I'm finna show you something. Being that these people were so close to each other, right? And both of them supposed to have a pictorial script right here, right? Let's look at and observe the letters. This is the letter A, right? According to them, they saying the A represent this bird. Well, let's look at what the letter A represent over here. It has a man with his hand in his mouth. Now, this wouldn't even be an alphabet in Champollion's measure. They would call this a determinative. It wouldn't even be an alphabet. But they say that this represents the letter A. So we know automatically, if you look at this in Egyptian hieroglyphics, it's totally different as a representation, and you don't even find it here as an alphabet. See what I'm saying? Look at that. You don't see no man with his hand in his mouth here. Closest we can get to even the depiction of a man is one kneeling down on the knee. But this is totally different than this particular measure here that they calling the letter A. Now, it's very important that you pay attention to this because I'm going to go down the line with another. And they actually call this a pseudo, linguists call this a pseudo alphabet, pseudo hieroglyphics. Even though this was created by the Cushites, they call it pseudo. So they're saying it's fake hieroglyphics, right? This is European. This is what happens when you get them to labeling things. You see? Now, watch this. Look at the letter B that's supposed to be here in this so-called hieroglyphic alphabet. They say this is the letter B, right? So if this was the letter B, wouldn't we think that the B should be the same if this is a Cushite language? Wouldn't, being that they was right there with them, wouldn't this letter right here, shouldn't, if they dealing with pictures now, shouldn't this picture be the same? This is B right here according to the Meta-Edict. And it's a whole steer, cow-like creature. Over here, it's a B. Now watch this. It get better now. This supposed to be C. Rich. It ain't no C in, the Egyptian. It would be K or G, Norman. So this would really be more like the G, so to speak. And it's they got a corresponding GH and a, like I say, KH. That's the real thing. Ain't no C really in Egyptian. But they do compare these letters of Egyptian to the alphabet that we have. And that's what this is, our alphabet compared to this right here. So look at this symbol here. And it's supposed to represent the letter C, and we'll say G or whatever, even get into the realm of K. But if you look over here, there's no C over here in this here. Right? No C. They go to K. So it don't look nothing like that particular. You don't even see that symbol over here. But this is a pictorial, right? Coming from the Cushites now, who were the establishers of Kemet. Now, I would expect if they was trying to come up with a methodology and some glyphs or whatever, if this one was supposed to be created by the ones who actually established a lot of the kingdoms in Kemet, wouldn't you think there would probably be an alphabet to use the way they're trying to use it? But this one ain't been deciphered. And they said calling this pseudo because it came later and it was created later. So why would you call one created by the Nubian Cushite pseudo and one created way later by Champollion not be pseudo? Make it make sense now. Now let's keep going right here. This is the hand. They say this is what they say. Commission ain't saying that he believed in none of this stuff that they talking about up here. I'm showing you what they say and I'm comparing this stuff so y'all can see it with your own eyes. So this is supposed to be the letter D, the hand right here, right? So let's go over here and look for the letter D. There it go right there. They have a picture for the eye as a representation for the letter D. Well, wait a minute. In the other glyphs, they say the eye represent Ray. But here it's saying it represent D. You see the confusion here? This is crazy. It ain't even the same, is it? This Champollion little thing he put together now. This is his little French Egyptologist. What he put together, these his symbols. So now when we come over here, the only symbol here that we can see that's supposed to be corresponding this letter E right here, which they like to call a reed leaf, but this still ain't the same thing. This is a reed leaf here, and this is actually a feather. Two different things. So the feather is used over here by the Cushites, and it represents the letter E, and the reed leaf is being used by Champollion to represent the letter E. You see? So let's keep going down the chart to the next one, F. So what symbol does the letter F represent in here? Is there F even here? Nope. There is no F in this alphabet. But you know what's interchangeable with the letter F? It would be the letter P. P and F is interchangeable. So if you compare this symbol up here that represents the letter P to this symbol over here, this is a serpent. Two different symbols. Again, here's G. Right? This is the form of the G here. Because they got a couple of G's in the alphabet, according to, the way that they lay it out in Champollion's chart. So let's look for G here. Oh, there is no G. There is no G up here in this alphabet. We see the serpent represent the letter F, and this little symbol here represent the letter G. But you don't see this symbol here over here neither, right? Oh, it's finna get real crazy in a minute. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Now here is another reed leaf. which they'll say the reed leaf is interchangeable with I and Y. And the only reason they got this in here double because they put I alphabet in here, and we got an E and an I in here, so they're using the same symbol for E and I, and that would be interchangeable in Champollion chart. You see, so they got it there. So if we look at the letter I here, though, let me blow that up. The letter I here has a man up here, another determinative as a letter I. You don't see no man over here in the alphabet as no letter I. You see? So I'm showing you Champollion has an alphabet system he created on his own, but it don't even correspond with the Kushites. And one not having knowledge of this right here, they'll sure be out there bad. Okay, so here's the letter H right here, right? Let me blow this up. It's supposed to be the letter H according to them now. Not that Commission believe this. I'm telling you, this is what they'll say. They'll say this is the letter H, right? Now let's come over here and look for the same symbol. We don't see it exactly the same, but this is the closest we come to that symbol. And look at what it represents. The letter T. You see the confusion in this? Why would the Kushites say it was T if that's what they compared it to? But they come over here and say it represents the letter H. H and T are not interchangeable, people. You see what I'm saying? So let's come down. We see the I principle here that they're talking about. Reed leaf. We already went over that. And they say this is jet. And this actually spells the word. This is the determinative that's known as jet. It's like J-E-D, jet. Sometimes they'll say J-E-T. So this ain't even really, it's basically a thing in creation. It's a serpent, a snake, just like this one here too. That's what all of these things represent. So it represents people, places, and things that they normally put in here. They don't really represent, the letters that they trying to make them represent. This is what they came up with. And this is what I was showing y'all last night. That's why they said the ancient Egyptians didn't use it this way. You see? So anyway, this is the symbol for K, looking like a little, container with a handle on the end of it, a basket or whatever you want to call it. This is supposed to be the K here, right? So let's go look for the letter K. There it is right there. There go K. They have a goose, a bird representing this here. Totally different from the letter K over here that Champollion have, right? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. This is just the Meroitic language that I'm showing you that the linguists call a pseudo-alphabet. Now, this comes from Kushites. This more older than what Champollion created, but they call this pseudo-hieroglyphs. They call this fake hieroglyphs right here, family. So, again, I asked the question, why would these be fake and these not be fake? That was created later. So here's the letter L, they would say. They say the lion represents the letter L in Champollion chart, right? Over here, the lion is similar to the L, right? This is what they have. Now, here, they have the letter M, which is the symbol of an owl. The M looks similar, right? The M looks similar, right? Here, they have the letter N up here. Let's look for the letter N. The N has two ripples instead of one ripple. And I can guarantee you certain symbols, Champollion took, from this particular chart because it was more ancient than what he had. But we keep going. This is O right here according to his chart. It's supposed to be the letter O, and it's a noose, like a noose is what it looked like. Let's see what O is over here. O is the head of an ox. Totally different. So you see how easily, if we were to get these symbols, twisted, how, some people saying they represent this over here, some saying it represent that over there. Now this is more ancient than Champollion demonstration, but they call this fake. I'm still trying to figure out how he get a pass for him to be the real decipherment. You see what I'm saying? So now you see here the P. Let's go over here and look for P. Well, they got lines in this box right here, so this ain't the same as that box over there. Let's go to Q. Look like a little hill right here, right? Let's see what the Q got over here. That's Q. This look more like a triangle, but it looks similar to what they got going on over here. Let's go to R. Where's the R? Well, they go to R right there. That R definitely is not the same as this R over here. Then we got the letter S right here. They claim this is S, right? This is not the same over here. See, then you got what would be considered a T. And then over here, this is T, according to them now. But it's not the same. Different symbols. Then you have a little chick bird for you. Or sometimes they'll claim this is W2. So that's why they got W here as the same chick right up here, because they both will be the same thing in Champollion's chart. How do I know that? Because I studied it. You understand? And I don't need the exact chart he got in front of me, to know that that's what they're doing here, the interchangeable aspects of it. So it's still here. They just put, our alphabet up here, and they put the things that's interchangeable with the other letters. And that's why they come out the same like that. So then you got another V, because the V is also interchangeable with the letter F. F and V. V, V, V. You see what I'm saying? In normal linguistics. So that's why they try to tie that in right there. Commission don't believe symbols are letters now. I'm just showing you what they're trying to pull over on you. Remember I told you the K is interchangeable with the, this letter here? See how they got the same symbol? They'll call this a placenta. That's what they'll call it in Gardenia sign list, the placenta. Like the placenta that come out of the womb, after the birth process and so forth and so on. That's what they call it. They don't know if the ancestors meant that's what it was, but that's what they choose to call it. Just like they choose to call us primates. Anything the Europeans say, stick to us. Stick to everything in humanity. If they label it, that's what it is. It can't be nothing different. It's how our people go. It's crazy that we think like that, but they pull it over on us. So they say this is the letter Y, these two strokes right here. But when you come over here, let's see. Where's the Y? Is there a letter Y over here? Let's see. The Y would actually be interchangeable. There it go right there. It's the Y. They got two reed leaves as a Y. And they just got two strokes. And last but not least, this is their Z down here in the bottom, which they would say represent door boat. That would be the boat of a door, according to them, in Gardenia sign list. So this Z here, and let's see what the Z look like. It's a door boat over here. Is it a Z over here in this one here? Nope, but they would say the S was interchangeable with the Z. So it would go between these two, mainly probably this one, because we went over this one already. So neither one of these is the same as that. So you can already see it's crazy, because they literally have some of the same symbols in this alphabet chart over here. Some of the letters are similar, but some of these letters are different. And if you think this is crazy, watch when I go into the next one. And I did it with the same alphabet chart. Now we're going to go to what we call Proto-Canaanite, what they call Proto-Sinaitic, or what they call the Hebrew alphabet, Paleo-Hebrew. Because a lot of people think this is the original Hebrew, but this is Masoretic text. This is box Hebrew. This little script right here in this third column right here, that ain't the real Hebrew language right there, even though we used to that. That was more modern. It was just box Hebrew created recently. So they have letters on the side of each one of these measures telling you what it represents. Now, this is the original Paleo Hebrew right here. Right here. It's second line. Guess what, though? Before this was known as Paleo Hebrew, it was known as Phoenician. So is it really Paleo Hebrew, or is it just Phoenician that was adopted by the Hebrews? You see what I'm saying? If you don't know this right here, somebody tell you something, you run with it, and that's what it is. Right? Now let's go to this chart. Here are some pictures. And this is said to be the pictorial script of the Hebrews. That's supposed to correspond with their letters now. And I'm showing you, this is where they got the idea to say that the letters that Champollion created was hieroglyphics, because they was in competition on trying to so-called decipher it. So they took the methodology of the Hebrews and tried to apply that to Champollion's. They didn't try, they did. That's why you'll find a lot of the words that are Hebrew that's right there in E. Wallace Budd Dictionary. Because they really took from Arabic, Hebrew, Coptic, and a whole bunch of letters to make up the language that they are now calling, Egyptian or Kemetic. It's not purely Egyptian. Most of their stuff coming straight from the Coptic and the Greek. And Coptic didn't even exist during the ancient time. There's no way you can apply the Coptic to the pictures, because the ancient Egyptian didn't have pictures, that they had to apply to Coptic, because Coptic existed way later. You see what I'm saying? And I showed y'all last night, way up in the time of 196 BC, that's 196 years before Jesus Christ, that the Rosetta Stone was created by the Ptolemies. It didn't exist in ancient Egypt. It was created by the Ptolemies. Them same people that I was just showing y'all. And I'm going to show them to y'all again. I'm going to go some more into that so y'all can see this. And it's going to become even plainer once I do it. But I got to show you this stuff with these alphabets. So now let's compare Champollion's alphabet, because this came before Champollion alphabet too, but this belonged to the Hebrews. It don't belong to the ancient Egyptian, but they'll tell you they created this based off of the symbols that they came into in Kemet, and they took it into the Sinai Peninsula. That's why they call it Proto-Sinaitic. They even had a temple of Dendera over there, a Het-Heru. You see? And that's why they talk about, the calf, the golden calf, because Het-Heru in ancient Kemet represented the calf. So we can see some of the culture, of Kemet they came up with. But this is what they came up. This wasn't the ancient Egyptian alphabet. This is supposed to be the Hebrew alphabet. But if it existed before Champollion, why is it too considered a pseudo alphabet? Do you know that linguists consider this a pseudo hieroglyphic alphabet? Even though it belonged to the Hebrew, just like, the Meroitic belonged to the Cushites, but they consider both this one and that one pseudo hieroglyphs. You see? Now let's compare the symbols then. Well, first and foremost, this is their letter A right here. And they got the head of the cow. Wait a minute, that look familiar. There is no cow head over here as the letter A in this alphabet. I could have sworn I seen a cow. Oh, they got a cow head over here in the Meroitic alphabet. But guess what? The cow head represents the letter O. It don't represent the letter A. You see how crazy this is? Because if this was closer to the ancient Egyptian and they was in Egypt, the Cushites, and if the Hebrews was in Egypt, then surely their alphabet should be the same thing. One shouldn't be saying it's the letter A and one saying it's the letter O. Because they was right there in Kemet. Champollion wasn't back during that time. You see what I'm saying? But they alphabet don't even correspond. So let's go right here. This symbol here, they say represents the house, but it represents the letter B. Wait a minute. I know this symbol for somewhere. Is there one over here? Yeah, right there. And it represents the letter H, not the letter B in Champollion's chart. Same symbol. It represents the letter B in Champollion, but it's the letter H. I mean the letter H in Champollion, but the letter B over here in what they call the Hebrew chart. We ain't gonna confuse no B with the letter H, family. You can't make this stuff up, right? Oh, you think it's a game? Wait a minute. Let's go back up here to the mirror edit. Because we did see something up here that was similar to that. It has a line over the top of it, but it's definitely similar to it. And it represents the letter T. So you mean to tell me this symbol right here represents 3 different things? And we don't really care about what Champollion talking about anyway, because he right here close to us in our modern time. He ain't but a hundred and something maybe years from us, 120, 130 years. You know, he ain't even that far off, you know, from us. You maybe 150 if we go that far. But how in the world you get one symbol just between the Hebrews and the Cushites, since they was back during that era, and they saying, one saying it's a T and the other saying it represent the letter B. And then let's know and getting Champollion here, it represent the letter H. Everybody can't be right. So somebody got to be lying. You know, golly. See, they don't expect nobody. This is how deep we go with this demonstration, family. Now watch this right here. Now you can't get around what I'm showing y'all right here now, people. Again, if they call it Meroitic, the Cushite language, pseudo-hieroglyphs, and they call in the Hebrew alphabet a pseudo-hieroglyph, then why is not Champollion's alphabet considered pseudo-hieroglyphic too? Now, this still don't prove an alphabet chart that existed before Champollion's that's based on his pictorial system. So we need to find a pictorial system like Champollion's that existed, just like we found this supposed to be the Hebrew chart and the other supposed to be Meroitic people chart. We want the same system Champollion got, and then we can say, oh, yeah, this is how they did it during the ancient time. But you won't find that because his chart was created from monuments that didn't exist in ancient Egypt because they was created by the Ptolemies. And that's what I keep trying to tell the people. How in the world you gonna say somebody done decipher something and this stuff didn't even exist? Of course the picture was on the monuments and in the different temples, but do you know that they didn't even allow people to go into the temples? You had to be part of the priesthood. You couldn't even look at them things. They hid this stuff from the public. Just looking at it. So you got to show me an alphabet chart. I keep saying this. That's why I say, has the metal netter been deciphered according to the methodology of the ancient Egyptians? You understand? And that ain't rocket science. Nope. We don't care what you talking about with Champollion. We already know what y'all gonna say. You're gonna pull up the books that he created, pull up the books that the Egyptologists say, and you're gonna say, see, it's right here in the book. Of course it is. They wrote it. But we challenging in that foolishness and exposing it. Watch this. Let's go to the next level. It states, all right, here, let me blow it up a little bit. See this little L looking symbol? You know, like a 90-degree symbol. It ain't even completely 90-degree, but, you know, and then they say it becomes this, you know, because they're actually showing you a comparison between these symbols that, you know, supposed to compare to these different measures here, the alphabet and the picture in the Hebrew setting, right? Then this is their little Masoretic here, but this is supposed to be the letter G. So, okay, let's see, can we find a letter G that look like this in Champollion chart? Let's see if that is even there. Oh, wait a minute, it ain't even a part of Champollion chart over here. And we see the G is totally different in Champollion chart than the symbol that we see over here. Well, let's go up under that right there. What about this? This is supposed to be the letter D right here. And this is supposed to be the D in the alphabetical form Paleo Hebrew. And so this is the D in the pictorial. Let's look for this. Well, we already we did go up here and try to look for the G up here too in this one. And they ain't even got no G up here. Let's see, do they have that symbol though? Nah, they ain't got it up here. Okay, let's go over here back to where we was. Let's go back to the Proto-Canaanite, Paleo Hebrew. So here it is. That's their D. So let's go back over here to the Meroitic. Let's look for the letter D here. There it is. Definitely not the same. That ain't that 90-degree angle. No siree. Totally different. So if answer this question, if the Meroitic people got their alphabet out of Egypt and the Hebrews got their alphabet out of Egypt too, but they saying different things, is it that somebody wrong, or people was just creating alphabet systems off of symbols that they found in Kemet? Because surely if these was adopted directly from the people themselves, then it should be a consistent alphabet. It shouldn't be different, meaning that the Hebrew alphabet should be the same as the Meroitic because they both came from the symbols in Kemet. You see what I'm saying? It would only be right. Man, this is terrible. So we already see the letter D over here again representing a hand. So we know this D is not the same as the D in the Meroitic because it's an I over here. The D over here is represented by this I. See it? D represented by the I. And then when you come over here, the D is represented by this symbol here. They call it a door hang, but it's definitely not the hand that you see over here in Champollion demonstration. You see this confusion? And we come down here, what's the next one? This is the letter H here. See the man standing there doing that demonstration that we talked about yesterday in hair with the both hands raised up, the letter H. I know y'all remember that if y'all was on here. This would be the symbol in the alphabetical form. This is supposed to be the pictorial, but this is letter H. So let's go back up here to the Meroitic. We definitely don't see that man with the arm nowhere up here, but this is H here, this is H here. And neither one of these H's the same as the H that's here. And let's go over here to Champollion and see what his H is. Well, we just showed it to you. That's definitely not the same symbol as H, either in the Hebrew or in the Meroitic. Then we have up under that the letter W right here. See the W? This is the pictorial, and it don't even look like pictorial. But let's go see, can we find this up here in the Meroitic? Nope. It ain't nowhere up here. No, sir. And if you wanted to try to use this letter right here and say this was it, this is the letter B. So we know that ain't it either. So W here is this symbol. The little hanging rope. And the hanging rope, we just pointed it out in your board demonstration. It's the letter O. Over here, right? Or so sometimes they'll interchange that with U or W. So let's go to the next letter. Z, the letter Z. This is the symbol that they have for the letter Z right here. This is it ain't even really a pictorial, if you ask me, but definitely don't see that symbol up here nowhere. There ain't no Z in the Meroitic anyway. So we can cancel that one out. But when we come up here, this is the Z. Nope, that definitely ain't the same as what we see over here. No, sir, that's not the same Z right there. Not at all. They said that the other two, this is the boats down here, and that one there, no. Two different symbols. Here's another right here looking like a Roman numeral 3, which is a pictorial, which really sometimes they put this as the pictorial. I see it interchangeable. They say this is the C and H, this is the K sound. This is actually another, like a hard, like that lock. That's that K sound. And that would really correspond with this sound down here, which they represent in the X. It's really a K sound. X, 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 K, K. That placenta. And it definitely ain't the same thing. You know? So we know that's different. Same thing with the letter T down here. This is a symbol that come from Egypt, but it's not a symbol in Champoleon's alphabet chart. This is a symbol supposed to be a representation in Gardenia sign list as a city. How am I telling you about Gardenia sign list right now, and I don't even have it pulled up in front of me? That lets you know that I know a lot about these symbols than these, I ain't gonna call them that, than these cats think that I know about it. I just don't entertain the foolishness. I keep telling me, they like, read the hieroglyphics. Didn't I tell you that they ain't meant to be read as letters? So why are you keep asking me to read it? He won't read it, y'all. He can't read it. No, I'm telling you it can't be read that way. So what I look like getting up here, and this represent the letter A, I'm showing you what they are saying. And I'm comparing what they are saying to these other charts. And y'all can see that something ain't right. Something ain't right. I'm finna kill it in the end though now. Cause y'all ain't even seen the other stuff that I'm finna pull up. This just going line by line, taking my time to show you this stuff right here, family. Cold-blooded. Ain't nobody never did it like this here. And I ain't looking for no pat on the back neither. I'm just showing you how these people be trying to fool our people and fleece our people. Just cause the European told them something, they go for it. Now this symbol supposed to be an arm, according to this Hebrew alphabet, right? They say this represents an arm. See it there, arm? Well, wait a minute. The arm, according to Champollion them chart, they don't have it in here, but a lot of time they'll try to put the arm in some of his alphabet charts as the sound ah, as a determinative. It ain't here. They say it represents ah, but this arm represents the letter Y, which is Yah. You see what I'm saying? Now, this ain't even really a picture. If it's more like a stick man type picture, if you want to call it that, but I don't see it as a. This look more like a menorah with candlesticks in it to me, but they calling this open palm, and this represents the letter K. We already know the letter Y is not the same there as it is over here. See the Y right there? It don't look. It ain't no arm. We know the Y ain't no arm over here. We know the Y ain't no arm down here neither. All these symbols said to be coming up out of ancient Kemet, but everybody got a different opinion about what they represent. That destroys Champollion methodology right there alone. Me showing you this right here. This is really a body bag right here. Book him down on murder one. So anyway, here's the letter K. They saying this is the letter K in the Hebrew. So let's look for the K and marry it. There it go right there. No, sir, that's not the same symbol. Why are they so different even though it's supposed to come from the same place? Wouldn't you think they had one methodology? Because there's only one alphabet system that's supposed to come from Kemet. Let them tell it. It's the one Champollion created. Let them tell it, right? So why is Champollion's system different from the Cushites, again, and the Hebrews, who was there long before he ever touched foot? And he didn't even really go to Kemet. Do y'all know that Champollion was supposed to be deciphering this stuff and he hadn't even went to Kemet? He hadn't even went to Kemet, family. After he deciphered, then he's supposed to so-called went to Kemet after his so-called decipherment. Now, y'all seen I read that to y'all last night and showed y'all that the people said that Champollion ain't deciphered nothing. His teacher said that. And they're going to sit up here and try to fight this information. See, this is what they're trying to keep from coming out. And I done did this presentation before. Smash and Reg and them, they done seen it. That's why they don't want to get in the ring. This alone is enough to kill them. I ain't even pulled out the real stuff I got. This is just stuff to show y'all so y'all can see with your own eyes what's been going on here. But y'all finna really, I'm finna kill it. And I'm just, watch this. Watch this. Let me go and run through these alphabets. So let's go to the next column over here, so we can get to the bottom of this. So they say this right here represents the letter L, which looked like a little hoop, you know, of a J. It looked like a letter J, but you know that's the symbol they're using. We definitely know that symbol is not over here, you know. And the letter L, they say represent the lion. So that's different from that. Only similarities between this one and that lion there, that's about it. Let's go back over here. And then they'll tell you that there ain't no L in the alphabet. It's a letter R. So they don't even really include this. They only got L here because it deals with the Greek. You know, and that's where they put that in there at. So that's a whole nother story to run down. But anyway, let's go to the next one. They say this represents the letter M. Right? It's water ripple. Okay. We come over here. It represents the letter N instead of M. Right? We come over here and go back to the Meroitic. Then we got two lines, you know, representing the letter N. You see similarities between that, but no similarity between this one over here. Majority of this stuff is just too different. So imagine trying to transliterate some papyri based off of this alphabet that was created later. And what if you were to try to use it to transliterate something with these symbols in it? I wonder how the transliteration would come out then, because there's symbols in here that consist of this. I wonder what would happen if you tried to transliterate something with these, because they say this ain't been deciphered yet. You know, whole text or whatever ain't been broke down. That's what they say. But yet Champollion's supposed to have been deciphered. Make it make sense now. Make it make sense. And how do we know that even these letters here are being compared to these? Because this is a total different alphabet than this, as they calling it. How do you know? And if they put this side by side, then they should have enough with these letters here to decipher what it is that's supposed to be an alphabet, since they got the letters there. Because they came up with this based on letters and was supposed to be deciphering all the text. Why this here? It got letters to it. Why they ain't deciphered the text and gave you the meaning behind it yet? Huh? Golly, boy, this is crazy. Overkill. So here's the letter N. We already know the N is different because we just went on that and seen the difference, but they showing this as like, look like a little tadpole. We definitely know that ain't in either the Meroitic or in Champollion demonstration. Unless you're going to try to make that be the serpent, and that would be the letter F, so we know you ain't going to do that. This symbol here, supposed to be a letter for S. We know that's different. You know, this Hebrew S right here. You know, when we come down here, nope, that's definitely not the same thing with this S here. And it's definitely not the same thing when we come up here either. Totally different pictures. But they all come from the wall. If they got it from the wall of Kemet and they represent the alphabet, you think they would mean the same thing, right? If they got it from the scribes of Kemet, right? Somebody been remixing something and remixing it too. Now here's the I. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is represented as a letter. This is a symbol of, a lot of people don't know it. It's an A symbol, you know, in the Hebrew. Now, look at this. I. The I represent in this alphabet the letter D. But over here, they got it as the letter A. That apostrophe looking symbol is an A sound. So let's go over here and see if it's an I over here. But they do be having an I over here. They actually have a I interchangeable with this R here. You know, when they deal with an open mouth symbol, and then they'll say it represent Ray and R sometime. See it right here. This is a P over here. The open mouth symbol is a P. It's not an R. See the difference between the two? I can't see what y'all saying, but some of y'all might be saying, stop it, Commission. This is too much. This is terrible. This is the closest thing that we can get to the open mouth, you know, and it's look like a H. So definitely ain't nothing like that in the mirror, is it? Yeah, we're going to take our time and whoop them tonight. And we almost done, too. Here's another look like tadpole type of demonstration right here. And this represents the letter C. We know this is not the same as the letter C over here in Champollion demonstration. No, sir. Totally different. So we can rule that one out. We know ain't no C up here in the Meroitic language, period. And we know that symbol, that little tadpole looking symbol ain't nowhere up here. Neither here nor Champo. All right, so we know that ain't there either. We can keep it moving. Here's that thing that looked like the door bolt. This represents the letter S though in Champollion chart, but it represents the letter Q in this chart. See it right here. Similarities Z. Closer you can get to it. Q. Not the same, similar, not the same, but that's how they be doing it. They be comparing the letter, but you ain't gonna find that over here at all. Ain't no, so this is letter Q right here. You see what the letter Q correspond? It look like a K. See that Q? It is not the same as this Q over here. But yet both of these people claim to get their alphabet out of Kemet. So we got three different sources, what I'm showing you right now. Meroitic, Hebrew, and Champollion, and they all saying the different things about, you know, some of the same symbols. The majority of the alphabet, you know, is basically totally different, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 symbols that might be similar. But nevertheless, they are not the same. Here's the head. This is like the human head that represents Resh. That's the letter for Resh in Hebrew. How do I know this right here and I don't have the sounds here? That should tell you that I know a little bit about Hebrew. You understand? So Resh is R. So let's see, can we find the human head with R? We automatically know the answer to that because we just showed you that the R is supposed to be the open mouth. How do I know that's the open mouth? Because I got to know something about Gardenia's sign list, don't I? The one that they be trying to use. Tell me, these are determinatives. They determine what's being said in the sentence. When you read it this way, the determinative at the end, it explains what the word is. God almighty, no. They think I don't know that foolishness, man. You know, and if I did get up there and embarrass them, you know, if I just read some one time for them, it'll embarrass them. You know, but I don't, like I tell you, I ain't finna play like that because I know it's not what they trying to make it. So here's the S. This is actually SH sound, sh, which they don't have that sound over here in Champollion's chart. They just got the S. And then when we come over here, we see the sh, and this little symbol here, which is not the same as what's going on over here. And last but not least, this is th. It's 22 letters. And these are all in what we call abjad order, A, B, G, D. This is how you can tell a language is of what they call the Afro-Asiatic family, because you will find them mostly in the abjad order. When they're not in abjad order like this one over here, you know, And the only reason they got ABC and all this here, but Champoleon's alphabet is not abjad order. It's got AI, and all that other stuff coming in there. So that lets you know a language is tampered with when it don't start with that A, B, G, D, and H, W, Z, and C, and H, because most of the ancient languages have abjad order to them. Go look at the ancient Phoenician alphabet. Even though it's Phoenician, the one that's right here too, that they call in Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew, is still Phoenician. It's in the ABGD alphabet. Even Arabic has an ABGD. They don't have a G, they have a J, so it's ABJD. You see, it's abjad is what they call it. I call that the DNA of Afro-Asiatic language. And I only use that term for lack of better words, because that term too was created by the European. Let's just say the tongues of the mother continent, you will find them in abjad order. So I have charts that I have created, or rather where I rearrange the letters that were not in abjad order, and I put them in abjad order, like the hieratic and demotic, because it's hard to find them type of charts. So I had to build it up myself. And all of this going to be coming out when we finish with our lexicon and dictionary family. It ain't never been done before, but y'all going to be able to learn how to read hieratic. We ain't finna put this stuff out here on before them though, so they can go and try to steal and try to remix what you're doing. We ain't gonna let them do that right there, family. That's why we ain't showing them nothing about the methodology and what we using. You'll see it when the book come out. You ain't finna steal nothing from me, because a couple of people been stealing too. We ain't even addressed that yet. And this is just another chart right here, family. And this is the same alphabet with a few exception of a few changes in words of the Proto-Canaanite. They took some of the symbols out. They ain't even there. This is called Proto-Sinaitic too. And these would be pictorials. But notice right here, they don't have Hebrew behind it. They calling it Phoenician. Then they showing you how to what they call ancient Greek. Ain't no such thing as ancient Greek. It's still Phoenician, family. Because you see the same alphabet over here that's in the Phoenician. Stop it. Then they'll say, well, modern English came up out of this right here, right? They comparing the letters to this, but going all the way back to the Paleo-Hebrew. Same symbols, some of them a little different or whatever, the way they draw them, but they still rooted in the same thing I was just showing you. Now here is a Hebrew chart. And it got some totally different measures in here. This is Hebrew alphabet now, and look at what it say. Hieroglyphic right here, right? I got the whole book with this in it. Now notice this Hebrew chart pictorially is different from this Hebrew chart. If this is the letter A up here, it represents the cow head. But in this Hebrew alphabet chart, it has a man running for the letter A. See, this is add. And this is in abjad order too, A, B, G, D. So is this the original one that's supposed to be their little pictorials in the Hebrew and the other one made up? Are these two different charts that they done come up with from Kemet? So now we got 4 different alphabet charts. All coming from Kemet. And they signs mean different things. Please stop the madness. And now this is a man running right here. You see? So if we want to compare this back to here, this still wouldn't be the same as the A here, because this is a man with his hand in his mouth. You see? Goodness gracious. That's 4 different charts now. Everybody's saying different things. This is the letter B right here, according to them. And that don't look nothing like nothing that I know. And now one of the glyphs that we see, we definitely know that ain't the letter B in Meroitic. No, sir. They got a cow up here. When we get into the Champollion aspect, we know it's not the leg either. So we got a leg for the letter B in one language. We got this cow-looking animal for the letter B in the other language. And then we got this symbol for the letter B in this language. And then we got this symbol for the letter B in this language. Golly. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we got something. We got the arm, y'all. Wait a minute. They say this is ah. This is a sign for ah, according to them now. You know, in Champollion, now Gardenia's list. They said represent the R sound. If y'all familiar with it, y'all know what I'm talking about. But why is it the letter Gimel? Why is this the G over? This is G now. This arm is a G over here. We go over here, this arm symbol. Where is that? We just had it early. Hold on. There it go, right there. The arm symbol represent the letter Y over here. See it there? Arm. So it's a Y here. It's a G here. But it represents A in Gardenia sound list. Okay, wait, they go to open mouth. That, oh man, I thought that was supposed to be the letter R. It is the letter R according to your boy list, Champollion. Wait a minute. But over here, when we come into this area, it's P over here. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, when we come over here, you mean to tell me that's the letter D? Man, it can't be all these. Let me check on my family to see if they kicked me off of this thing yet. Hey, family, this is crazy. I'm looking at y'all right now. I just wanted to make sure that they ain't kicked me off of here yet. So I ain't seen this yet. I never presented this before them. I did this exclusively for y'all so y'all can see, you know, what's going on over here, family. How in the world is these symbols all coming from Kemet, right? But they all different, bro. That's what I want to know. I ain't showed them this. This alone will kill them now. I ain't even got the other. I ain't told y'all about the other information that back it all up. This is just showing y'all all the different letters. Remember they said that this right here was a symbol for G? Somebody said it was Hey, but this is Hebrew. So this corresponds with the Hebrew letter H. It does correspond with the Hebrew letter H, even though a lot of the other letters different. See it right here? Well, actually, it don't. It was actually, what letter that H was? It was actually Champollion's letter H. They're showing that symbol, which is similar. But then they call this a feather. That's the Kemetic symbol, but the feather represent V. You know, I talked about, you know, that, but the feather represent the serpent in Champollion's chart. It don't represent, I mean, not the feather, but the F represent the V. And the serpent and the V is the same thing, not the feather. The feather represent the letter E and the I in Champollion, which is not the same as what it represent down here. And it's the same thing, family, just through and through. Every letter that I go through, and some of these y'all know good and well don't even exist in them other charts that I just showed y'all. Like, what is this? This look like a snail. That look like a snail. This is the head of the man. They say this was Resh, the letter R, but look at it. They saying it's the letter P right here. They say this right here is the letter R, Ra, and this is the bird. That represents the letter A normally in Champollion chart. Know what I mean? They go to I right there. The I here they say represent A, Aleph. This is terrible, family. Ain't no way in the world. All these are what I'm showing. I done made my point. All these alphabets are different. These 4 different alphabet charts. Now, all of them supposed to derive from Kemet, but they all saying different things. These hieroglyphics now. Look at this. They're Hebrew hieroglyphics, but they're hieroglyphics. The term hieroglyphic can be applied to any language family that is basically undecipherable. You know, hard to understand. That's what hieroglyphic basically means. Walter Williams, we give honors to him for that. And Reggie misrepresented Walter Williams' chart. We put that up there last night. I let Walter Williams speak, and he said he was not representing them as no alphabet. He said the Demotic and the Hieratic is the alphabet. And so Reggie disingenuous. We exposed him last night on that. Now let me show you how easy it is. Since everybody else creating their alphabet, I decided to create my own. And see, I did this on their show, and they know what I was doing. They know what I was doing. And they tried to cry because they were like, oh, they were running from this. So I said, let me go ahead and show y'all something. And I chose the Meroitic alphabet. And I put a sign beside each one of them. And I say, all right, I'm going to create my own alphabet because Meroitic ain't never been deciphered. So I'm going to create my own alphabet, and we're going to do what they did, what Champollion did, because that's what he did. He put a Greek letter beside each picture, just like I took our alphabet, the one that we understand. I took our alphabet, the one y'all know, and I put it beside each one of these pictures. So now what I want y'all to do, and this Smash talking about, he took this from me. I ain't seen Smash do nothing. This was my concept to prove how easy it is to do what Champollion did and pull the wool over somebody. So I want y'all to use these alphabets, family. Let me see if I can take this down smaller so I can blow it up. I don't see y'all right now. I want y'all to transliterate this right here in the box for me, letter by letter, and tell me what letter is being represented by each one of these. So we have the letter that's symbolic to the little goose right here. We want you to go up here and find this little goose. Find him up here and then write the letter down. You know, type it in your thing or whatever. We're going from left to right, you know, because all the symbols looking that way. So we're going from this way. This is how they say you read. Yeah, they say whatever way you looking, only one way with this particular difference. We're going from left to right like we normally read. And I want y'all to tell me what this translate as. Go letter by letter. Tell me what this first one is. All you got to do is look up here and look at the letters under it and translate what's being said here. I'm going to give y'all a little time real quick. I'm going to grab me something to drink. You know, just look at all the symbols. Let me blow it up a little bit more, as big as I can so y'all can see it. And I want y'all to translate that letter by letter because it's going to translate as y'all pull these symbols down, compare the symbols, and compare them to the letter and translate it. I'm going to get something to drink real quick, and I'm going to see who translated. It's going to translate it. You're going to be able to understand what it say when you translate it. All right, I'm back. Let me look at my screen. I'm gonna see if y'all was able to transliterate anything letter by letter. We're gonna see if we can see what was actually being said up here. Let me see if somebody was able to transliterate. Hold up, let me get to my family real quick. Okay. Oh, there it go. There it go. Our family say creator of the boundless universe said commission adept. Now, how in the world was creator of the boundless universe able to do that? How was creator able to do that not knowing nothing about this that I brought forth? Now, they say Meridic ain't never been deciphered. Let's see if it's what, actually being said here. Okay, let's go over here. We're going to convert these letters and let's see if creator was right. Creator was right. I didn't tell creator nothing. I went in there and got me something to drink and came back. And if y'all did the same thing, y'all came up with the same thing. You see what I'm saying? That's all Champollion did. And this is what they running with, family. You see how easy that I just created literally. Meridic, that's the Meridic pictures now. Ain't never been deciphered. And I put our English alphabet on it, letter for letter, put the symbols up there, gave y'all the ability to look at it. It was translated, and it came out just like creator said it was. They hate it when I did this right here. They're like, oh man, he cold-blooded with it. We got to stop this guy. Now this finna get deep. This finna get better. We got one more, and this is the last one right here. I actually have a nothing. I got a nothing right here. I want y'all to translate this one right here. Somebody translate this one right here too. Same script. Let me move this stuff out the way so y'all can see it. Translate that one right there. Tell me what that means. All right, let me see who got this one right here. Okay, let me get down here and see if my family was able to put that one in. There it go. Man, creator ain't even playing with it. Allahu Akbar. Y'all know we ain't working. Yep, see? That version, you got it, right? Same thing. So what I tried to ask these people, now notice I did that on purpose because I showed you spelling it out in the language I brought forth here. In one aspect, we're dealing with commission adept, but this is Arabic. So I was able to deal with an Arabic word also in this language. So now you see how easy it is to do what Champollion did when he created his alphabet chart. And then tell y'all he deciphered something. You see what I'm saying? Man, them people better stop playing with us. You see? So if that's the case, then I deciphered Meridic. I done broke the code of deciphering. Commission did it right here live. Come on, man. Y'all hold me up as the champion of deciphering meta edit. Come on, man. I'm being sarcastic, but I'm showing you what they tripping off. Because see what happened is, good brothers, hieratic is a real alphabet. So if I were to take the hieratic symbols that represent the letter A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and I were to put the hieratic symbols in here, right? You know, I were to convert these to the hieratic. If I were to do that, then I say the hieratic represent these symbols in these pictures because they look like them. And then I tell you that, you know, I've deciphered a text of the ancient Egyptians that's based on pictures. And we come to find out the text with pictures really don't exist in abundance as they say they do, but they exist in hieratic. So if the original text exists in hieratic and you don't know how to deal with hieratic, then you're going to be looking at pictures. And you'll never even know anything about the hieratic because they taught you these things were pictorial. So in other words, they really hid the true text hieratic up under these fake pictorial documents that they've been calling the Book of the Dead. And all the while you talking about, I'm teaching Medu Neter, I'm reading Medu Neter. You wasting a bunch of time is what you're doing. And so when Commission come on the manifest and he tell you, brothers, I got the Chester Beatty papyrus. I'm finna show that to y'all right now. Chester Beatty PDF. This is the Chester Beatty, and this is actually this is the biblical manuscript right here. But I think they still got the other. This is the biblical. Even this one right here, this is actually Coptic too, by the way. You know, this is not Greek, but these are actual manuscripts. So in the Chester Beatty library, I'm talking about BM 10682. This is the one I'm talking about. I want to show you what it's at too. I'm gonna just show that to you before I even pull the paper up. This is the Chester Beatty paper. That's hieratic. This is a more complex one too, because it's so jumbled up together. I'm just showing you that this exists. Because I have other papyri like this one that I'm finna get ready to show you in Chester Beatty. And they have some that's a little better to work with when it comes to dealing with translation and transliteration. So I ain't gonna put the methodology out here and show that on here because we ain't gonna let them try to steal it and try to get no one up on us. You know, because we gonna do that right there. That information we gonna bring out. Hold up. We're gonna bring that out basically to our people in due time. Just know that we know what we're doing, family. I'm trying to find that one paper. The one I got with all the manuscripts in it. Okay, not that one. Not that one there. Okay, this is the one right here. This is the one I want y'all, and this is the one I keep pulling up on them. So this is the original papyri, and I'm showing you what they did. And so, you know exactly what you're looking at from now on when they be talking about they trying to show you some Medu Neter. See, this is the original papyri, and I'm going to tell you who tampered with it. It was Alan Gardenia that tampered with it. He cut it in half because it was a long road. This papyri right here was real long, family. And he cut it in half. He cut it in half. See it here, Alan Gardenia? He the one tampered with it, people. He took it and then he created his little 1-for-1 creation of pictures. And then when he got done with it, he cut it up and gave it to the British Museum. And this is supposed to be his translation of it. He didn't translate this translations that he got here. They did not come from pictures, family. They came from the hieratic. And then he made you think that they came from the pictures. That way you will forever be looking at pictures and you'll never know what they done pulled over on you. That way you would become a slave to their interpretation. But if you ever came into knowing how to read the hieratic, boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I got a video where me and the scribes got on here, family, and we found all types of errors in this stuff. Stuff that didn't even exist. You see what I'm saying? So this is how they do it. So like this would be like the original. I'm gonna rotate this so y'all can see it good. Okay. That thing I always do that too when I be trying to rotate it. I gotta be careful when I rotate it because it'll rotate. There it go. It's right. It's right side up now. Okay, so this is what we have here. So they'll have this up here, family. You know, let me see. They didn't even put it up here on that one page. Missing a page up here. This is actually the first page right here. This is real papyri. This is the actual papyri. This is the source material right here. This is what I had brought up, you know, and I can look in here, you know, and definitely see certain measures out here, you know, and point certain things out, you know, and show certain aspects of things because I've been in here. But this is a little easier to deal with than the others. Now, so this is the pictures they have right here, family. It's a whole lesson for us to come in here and really break this down. It take time to go in here and do that. That ain't some stuff you just go in there and da 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 da. Yeah, I can pick out, you know, a few words and this and that, there. But this ain't never been done before, family. So you got to understand the methodology that has been created to do this. It came from me in the circle that's doing it over here. As far as like when it comes to our people don't teach this. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, this is what they created. And if you notice here, they got full text in here. They created some of the stuff already. They already tried to turn the pictures, you know, they call it transcribed text too. That's what they call it, transcribed text, them pictures. So this is the original text. Notice this is actual papyri. You see it in pieces, broke all up. So how in the world are they able to fill stuff in right here? Because when you hide this from the people and you don't teach them about that, you can present this to them and they think they're reading the whole papyri. So this is what your guys read. But if you put some hieratic in front of them, you see, they stuck then. So, and this is not just one page. This is the next page. See the papyri? This is the real source material, family. So they buried the papyri under pictorials. You see? And you know how old this is? The oldest writings. These are actual writings. This is how they used to write. This is not called Medu Neter. This is called Medu Re in Kemet. Medu Re in Kemet. And Demotic is called Second Inshet. You see? And it goes on. This is the transcribed text. See, Chesterbated papyri. Then here go another Chesterbated papyri, transcribed text. In other words, this is the real and this is the fake. This is the original and this is the creation. You see what I'm saying? And I got a whole bunch of more books just like this. This ain't the only one. In my archives, I got them. And so this is what we are into studying. And y'all will see it. When we come back around, we're going to be going into these texts. What they did, family, is they reverse engineered the language into pictures. And I got sources that tell you that's exactly what they did. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, I'm going to show y'all. So I'm going to do this just for the sake, of getting down in here, right? And we know already this is a determinative right here. They would say, okay, yeah, this is a P, this is a letter Y, this is N, S. So this, then this is a heart, it's a symbol of a heart. That's not an alphabet. This is Jed right here. This would be, they would say this is NF, Nephi. And then this is actually a determinative. They would stop here. This is T, which means to give. I can do all that stuff, family. I keep telling y'all. I'm showing y'all that I can do that foolishness. And I can go all the way through here and do the same thing they do, because that's all they're doing. And then they'll pull up a dictionary and say, see, this is what it means right here. But I'm telling you, so why would I get up here, though, and tell y'all this is the methodology to use when I tell you that's not right? It don't make no sense. Don't mean I couldn't do it if I wanted to. I'm just not going to be disingenuous when I'm telling you it can't be transliterated and then come up here like I'm trying to decipher this when I know I should be reading this. You understand what I'm saying? This is the language of the ancient Egyptian, family. Now, make no mistake about it. We're not saying that these symbols in these pictures wasn't created by the ancestors. We are saying that they represent people, places, and things. And that's what you see in here. People, places, and things. And these people, places, and things on a deeper level, the ancestors did not teach this to the public. This was more for the priesthood. These symbols in the temples as they had them. And got nothing to do with Champollion alphabet and that stuff he created later, trying to act like they done decipher something. These are metaphysical formulas that have spiritual meaning in them. And if you have the knowledge of them, you can go into them from the level of gematria, like I showed the brother last night, and you can actually go into, we can say, healing properties. So they didn't give this stuff to everybody. How do I know that the methodology is to be demonstrated this way? Because it will be passed down through metanetta and priesthood. How did we get the methodology? Because Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought it back to us in our Moorish Holy Quran. Now I'm going to show you what I mean by that. When I tell you that these are not letters, these are symbols and pictures with metaphysical meaning, and you have to contemplate upon the meaning. You don't just look at it and going through it, and they talking about they reading it, breaking it down like I was showing you, they like to do. You study the in-depthness of these things, these formulas, because that's what they really are. It's really mathematics behind them, ideograms, ideas. You study it and you contemplate the meaning. Where did you get that from, Commission? I'm going to show you right now where we come up with that concept from. I'm going to show you right now where we come up with that from. Now, this is the Moorish Holy Quran, excerpts from it, dealing with the adept chapters that was brought back to us by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We actually have, I got the history of Yehoshua being initiated, in the Egyptian degrees, the same one that my chairman was took through, by Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace is the one gave him, initiated him, brought him through the chambers. And the chairman brought those degrees back to us in the Book of Fire, the Exhuming of a Nation. But there are certain elements that are mentioned in our Holy Quran. Our Holy Quran got 70 chapters in it. more than the one that y'all see in the Moorish Science Temple. They include what a lot of people call chapters out of the Red Book, and that's why they get upset with the chairman, because they say the chairman gave up the secrets to the book, because we don't keep secrets. That's why I'm giving it to y'all right now. We keep it sacred. We ain't hiding nothing from nobody. That's the difference between a hierophant and a mason or a shriner. They swore to conceal and never reveal. We gonna give you the truth, because even if I give you the truth, if it ain't meant for you, you ain't gonna get it. So we ain't got to hide nothing from nobody. You know, the mind ain't gonna never accept what it's unwilling to receive. You see? So if you don't know what I'm giving you, it don't mean nothing to you. You're like, oh yeah, he just talking. So anyway, notice I say signs and symbols are for conscious mind and men of understanding. That's a quote that comes from our Moorish Holy Quran. Right? So this is actually out of the chapter, and I took it out degree by degree. This is actually dealing with the meaning of silence right here, dealing with the wisdom of Allah and man. And I keep telling people, I was talking tonight, if y'all looked at my video, I was talking about reading the book of creation, you know, and reading the book of self, the macrocosm and the microcosm. See, this is the real meaning behind Circle 7. So we go beyond just reading a physical book. We begin to read our essence, read our nature. And this is what the real meaning of understanding Medu Netta is based upon. Medu Netta means the language of God, not as I'm speaking now with the words that I'm talking coming out my mouth. This is divine wisdom that come out of all of us. It's a treasure box that we have within us, whether we know it or not. A divine treasure box. This is where we're able to extract our greatness from. So anybody that you ever seen rise to the occasion and become great is because they was able to tap into their divinity, listen to that silent voice of God that speak within. So they call it the language of God. That's what Medu Netta mean, the language of the gods. So anyway, it says, fear not to lift the sacred board and the tables of law. It says, are the art concealed. Take them and read them well, for they contain all precepts that man will ever need. And in the ark, the magic wand, all this is esoteric language, family. For they contain all prophecy, lies waiting for your hands. And we say the hand is symbolic to the mind, due to its ability to shape, to hold, to mold, to obtain and retain. You see, it says it is the key to all hidden meanings of the present, future, and the past. The cherubim have guarded well, for every soul is a treasure box, and whosoever will may enter in and find his own. And this is the meaning of silence and the wisdom of Allah and man. This is Yehoshua. Y'all call him Jesus, Isa, so forth and so on. He was the adept. He was being initiated, but he was telling the people about the meaning of silence. That when you go into silence, you can tap into the divinity of the self. Now watch this. This is when he begins to go through his initiation. This is called Yehoshua receives the mystic name and number and passed the first brotherhood test. Listen to the words. This is where the methodology come from that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was given, because he was taken into the pyramids, he was blindfolded, and he was given a glass of water. This was a part of his initiation when he was in Egypt. And he was told, after he was guided to a particular place, that if he would not find his way out of this place, then he would surely die in them pyramids, because he would get lost. So his test was to go into a place that he didn't know nothing about and find his way out. And according to our records, he came out the next morning between the paws of the Sphinx. Now, Prophet Noble Drew Ali ain't the only one that's been initiated like this. There are others too that were made adepts, but this was his test that he went through. And so the chapters that he brought us back basically have a foundation in the way that he was initiated. So these chapters are reminiscent of his initiation. You know how I said that in which I do, all men shall do, when Yehoshua said that in the Bible, when Jesus said that in the Bible, meaning the same trials I've been through, the same tests I've been through, you must go through. And so Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought the adept chamber back to us, and it is based on this same type of rite of initiation. However, it has to do more with self-initiation to us than anything, because your adept chamber is above your neck. But anyway, it says, the master said, the Logos will give heed to what I say. No man can enter into the light until he has found himself. Go forth and search till you have found your soul and return. Then return. The guide led Yehoshua to a room in which the light was faint and mellow, like the light of the early dawn. The chamber walls were marked with mystic signs, with hieroglyphs and sacred texts. And in the chamber, Yehoshua found himself alone, where he remained for many days. He read the sacred texts and thought out the meanings of the hieroglyphs and sought the import of the master's charge to find himself. A revelation came, he got acquainted with his soul, and he found himself, and he was not alone. Now notice, it didn't say he found Champoleon's book and looked at his methodology and began to deal with his decipherment of the hieroglyphs. No. Yehoshua was told to go into that chamber that had walls marked with mystic signs, with hieroglyphs and sacred texts, because he was in the temple of Heliopolis. If y'all don't know that, in our Moorish Holy Quran, 18 missing years in the Bible that they talk about. That's all the circle 7 is, family. It's the 18 missing years that are not included in the Bible of his life, from the age of 12 all the way up to 33. You see? So anyway, Yehoshua was told to read the sacred text. And basically, he read them and he thought out the meanings of the hieroglyphs. But guess what? He sought the import of the master's charge to find himself. Because the text that he truly was reading was the tablet of his consciousness. It goes beyond even the texts that are being referred to as hieroglyphs. It was the enigma of his own soul. That's why I said a revelation came, and he got acquainted with his soul, and he found himself, and he was not alone, because the HERUPHANT within was present. The God within was present. See how simple this is? Now, this stuff I'm supposed to be talking in the public. You let the people that think they in the adept chamber, you giving all this stuff up to the public. Is it secret? No, we keeping it sacred. We telling you the truth, because it's meant for you to get this right here in order for you to understand our methodology. So he didn't use no alphabet charts, family. This is why I tell you. And the crazy part about it, this is not just Yehoshua doing this. This was the methodology of the ancient Egyptians. So our priesthood that we have, with Noble Drew Ali being initiated into the priesthood, that's how we have the methodology through the knowledge that he brought us. Because all of this is dealing with Jesus' initiation, Yehoshua. Yes, he did exist. For the people that keep saying he didn't, we got proof. His parents and his bones, we got the tomb. All you got to do is go look up Jesus' family tomb, and you'll find out, yes, he physically exists, family. His bones, his family bones were found in all of that. You know, I got video I did on that too. So this is the next test. This is the third brotherhood test, which is faith. Watch what it say here. It says the Logos waited 7 days. It says, and then was taken to the hall of fame, a chamber rich in furnishing, lighted up with gold and silver lamps. The colors of its ceiling decorations furnishing and walls were blue and gold. Its shelves were filled with books of masterminds. The paintings and the statues were the works of highest art, and Yehoshua was entranced with all this elegance and these manifests of thought. Notice it's a manifest of thought. He read the sacred books and sought the meaning of the symbols and the hieroglyphs. There it go again. See, and so I did this on Saw Channel. When they like show us something, and I gave them metaphysical interpretation. And one brother was like, man, he is right, man. I can see that. It sound good. You know, and they like, oh man, no, you know, but they didn't understand what was being demonstrated. You see? That's the third brotherhood test. Let's go to the next degree. In the land, and this is the 6th degree, because it's 7 adept degrees. So this is the 6th degree, and he passed the 6th adept chamber of the Eastern sages. In all the land, there was no place more grandly furnished than the beauty of the parlors of the Temple of the Sun, Heliopolis. Few students ever entered these rooms. The priests guarded them with awe and called them the halls of the mysteries. We call it, you know, the sacred rite of the mystic crypts of Misraim, Ra-Mesu, Mesu-Ra. But anyway, the senior course of study, this is the last one, the Adept Chamber of the Dead, the Mysteries of Egypt, chapter 33. It says, the senior course of study was now open, and Yehoshua entered and became a pupil of the HERUPHANT, and he learned the secrets of the mystic lore of Egypt land, the mysteries of life and death, and of the world beyond the circle of the sun. You see, and we call this the senior course, because when you get into the adept degree or the 7th adept degree, you know, only the Most High can grant you that. You know, man has taught you everything that he can teach you at this particular point. You feel me? Uh-oh. Look like we got some little freezing up here. Let me see if it let me come over here where y'all at. Yes, sir. So, yeah, family. This is what I'm talking about right here. We ain't playing. Yes, sir. So, yeah, when we get up in here and we show y'all what's being said, look like my little thing I'm going to see that it unfreeze yet. Yes, unfroze now. You know. And I actually included this as a bonus, you know, in breaking down, you know, because these are the Sabbath teaching, the wisdom teachings, as taught to us in the Moorish Holy Quran. A lot of people don't know the Moorish Holy Quran is really Egyptian in essence, because all the chapters had to do with him when he was in Egypt, him and John the Baptist and John's mother, you know, and also Elizabeth. You see? Mary as well. Joseph as well. They was in Kemet. Remember, they ran from Pharaoh, according to the Bible, into Egypt. So that's what's in the Moorish Holy Quran. That's what people don't comprehend. They have no idea what the Moorish Holy Quran is. So, you know, this is in the chapter of religion. We just got out of this chapter. We went over know thyself. Now we just in a know thyself in the recent chapter. But it says, he hath endued thee with reason. This talking about the Most High, to maintain thy dominion. He had fitted thee with language to improve thy society, and exalted thy mind with the powers of meditation, to contemplate and adore his inimitable perfections. And that's what Yehoshua was doing. And so the methodology of the metaphysical interpretation, the methodology of the symbolic or the allegorical or the esoteric interpretation of these teachings was the original methodology of the priesthood before Champollion came in talking about he got some decipherment going on. You understand? They only got rid of that when Champollion claimed that he deciphered, because HERUPHANT, which was a real Egyptian priest, is one person's literature that Champollion read, and he admitted that HERUPHANT was correct in a lot of his interpretation of the hieroglyphs. And HERUPHANT was not using the alphabet. He was doing just what Yehoshua was doing. He was contemplating the meaning. And so there's a book and works out here on HERUPHANT. I'm gonna show you. You can actually find the PDFs anywhere. So we're going to bring this demonstration to a closure, but I'm going to show this right here to you. HERUPHANT was the last Egyptian priest that was close to our time. And if he was correct, why would I take Champollion, who was never a priest of ancient Kemet, why would I take his word, Champollion, over HERUPHANT, who was a real Egyptian priest? Why would I go against his interpretation? This one right here, I think in Latin, but it got it's coming from the Coptic too. Yeah, that's the Latin version. I got to get the English. This is the actual book right here. This is HERUPHANT work, on Kemet, and how you actually deal with the language. I'm gonna show it to you in a second. Let me see. Here it is right here. And they got breakdowns on, it shows you how he interpreted a lot of this. For example, right here, this is HERUPHANT's interpretation of the glyph without no alphabet. This is before Champollion even thought about. It's like hundreds. This is way before Champollion was on the manifest. And this is what HERUPHANT said. Of Horus and Apollo, it says how they denote eternity. Meaning this is how the Egyptians represented eternity. They said they represented eternity by the serpent. And this is what comes out of the forehead, the uraeus. The serpent also is symbolic to a circle. You would often see the serpent, biting its tail. In a lot of the Theophasis symbolism, they got that from HERUPHANT. See, it says to denote eternity, they depict the sun and the moon because their elements are eternal, but when they would represent eternity differently, they delineate a serpent with its tail covered by the rest of its body. The Egyptians called this the uraeus, which in Greek language signifies the basilisk. And they place golden figures around the gods, and the Egyptians say that eternity is represented by this animal because of the three existing species of serpents. The others are mortal, but this alone is immortal. And because it destroys any other animal by merely breathing upon it, even without biting, it says, hence insomuch, it says, it thus appears to have power over life and death, they place it upon the head of the gods. This is a priest that's saying this. You see what I'm saying? So HERUPHANT, really broke these things down, for what they represented. You see what I'm saying? That's what this whole book of HERUPHANT is dedicated to. Then he go into how they represented the universe, which is also symbolic to dealing with the serpent. When they represented the universe and delineated the serpent bespeckled with variegated scales, they said that these were symbolic to like the stars. See, they say devouring its own tail by the scales, intimating the stars of the universe. So the circle, as the serpent consumed its tail, the scales and all of that symbolic to the stars in the universe or the circle. It says the animal is also extremely heavy. It says, as is the earth, and extremely slippery, like the water, and moreover, in every year it puts off its old age with its skin. So just like a serpent sheds its skin, it says, as is the universe, annual period of effects and corresponding. So this is an annual cycle, symbolic. So they're saying that this is the comparison between the serpent. It represented a cycle of renewal. Change becomes renovated, and the making of the use of its own body for food implies that all things whatsoever are generated by divine providence in the world and undergo a corruption into it again. Matter is neither created or destroyed, right? And this is a cyclic process in the universe. And so they're saying symbolically, this is the deep meaning behind the serpent. See what I'm saying? And then they even went into speaking of the god Atmu, like Atmu, like Atum, Atme, Atmu. The figures of the god Atmu sometimes exhibit instances of a serpent with its tail in its mouth. Atum, the one who first rose up in Kemet. This is where they get the concept of the atom from. because the atom had stored in its essence the original origin of the universe. In fact, if we want to even go so deep, we can say that Atmu represents the common ancestor of the ancient Egyptian, because it's the origin of the material that the universe came out of. Remember we was talking about protoplast last night, and how protoplast represents the first man in his cellular makeup. Oh, it get deep, family. We can go there. But y'all check HERUPHANT out, man. It's free out there. Look for the PDF, and they got a whole bunch of them out there. You know what I mean? It don't get no plainer than that right there, family. Yes, sir. Yeah, we can get all this right here to the family. It's out there though. If you Google it, you can definitely find it. And yeah. I see you created the boundless universe. Yeah, that's right. Chapter 33 of the Moorish Holy Quran. That's right. That's our particular one. Remember, we got 70 chapters in it. We got all the chapters in it. But yeah, very powerful. So yeah, this is a grand drawing, family. We giving our people the truth. So I just wanted to share this with y'all. This is as thorough though as it get. We done showed you that these people are deceptive out here. They hide, they running scared. They don't want to get in the rain. But I wouldn't either after what I just showed them. Because if I show that to the people, they can't get past that. And I ain't even went into the 100 slides I got that really bite everything that I'm saying. I ain't even showed them that yet. I'm just waiting for one of them to take the conversation. I dare Aaron, one of them to get. I hope one of them watching right now. I dare you to get in this rain and watch what I do with this scimitar. Watch what I do with this scimitar. So I did this exclusively for y'all, man. You know what I mean? Because y'all always here, and y'all always on the manifest. So, this is love, family. This is love, for y'all. And y'all gonna love this video. Go back and watch it, study it thoroughly, and go look at it. I showed y'all all the source material. It's out there. A lot of this stuff is there. You can find the same charts that I pulled up and see they there. And I showed you comparison, 4 different charts that they claim come from Egypt, but all of them have different meaning for the same signs. That don't make no sense. Crazy. Yes, sir. Yeah, we getting up. We getting up in a little bit, because we're dealing with the Coptic. This is our last lesson on the Coptic, and we're going into the Arabic after this. So if you want to learn the Arabic, you know what I mean? They think I don't know how to demonstrate that. Y'all done seen me whoop up on Morpheus in our last conversation. Not really Morpheus, but the other guy that was with him. Just showing certain aspect. I love that brother Morpheus. He's a good brother. He's a formidable brother. I think he definitely respect me as much as I respect him. You know what I mean? So, definitely I got a lot of respect for our brother Morpheus. Still sharp and still. But yeah, we getting ready to go into the Arabic, because that's what we're doing in cycles. We get through with the Arabic. We're going in the order that the language manifests. Then we going back into, dealing with the metaphysics of the meta. We're going to get into that. Then we'll get into the aspects of, actually going into some of the proto-Sinaitic, proto-Canaanite, all that stuff. And then we come on up into the hieratic. We deal with the Demotic. Then we go into the Coptic and the Arabic. And that's what we're going to keep doing, cycling this information. Because y'all become stronger the more you watch this stuff here. You know what I mean? Yes, sir, brother Born Dog. Morph is a good brother. Our last few conversations, was very respectful. You know what I mean? We can learn from each other, man. Still sharp and still. So that being said, I'm gonna drop this link to see if anybody want to say something or come up in here, like I always do. You know, and if not, you know, we'll shut that demonstration down and we're going to get ready for our next juncture. Because we got a class to teach in about 4 or 5 hours from now. You know, I love this information, man. I love the truth. You know, I just want to make sure our people understand our premise, you know, but you can't go into this type of stuff, you know, with them cats when they be on the panel because you can't get nothing out. This information ain't something you can just fly through. The stuff that I know, you can't just say this and that, there. No, you got to really go into it in order for people to understand it. You know, and that's why a lot of them don't have no understanding because they ain't got no patience. You see what I'm saying? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Remember that. The mind will never accept what it's unwilling to receive. So, again, we got the little link in there if somebody want to come up here real quick before we shut it down. And all is well. Let me shout my family out on here. You know, everybody that I see, I always like to shout y'all out. We also go over a few of these mentions that we see here. Idris Amir, we give honors to you, good brother. You know, Brother Born Dog, we give honors to you. Let me see, Neo Soul, honors to you for showing up, family. It's love. Let's see here. Yes, sir. So, all right, Neo Soul, we give honors to you as well. Yeah, Champollion was French too, by the way. Brother Born Dog. We see united through life struggles. It's always love, divinely black. Honors to you, family. It's love. Okay. Yeah, we gonna definitely go deep into Champollion. You know, he was definitely French, and to be honest with you, Napoleon was trying to help him translate his stuff too. Because you know, Napoleon is the one who took. They got a movie just came out about Napoleon, or supposed to be coming out about him too. It is out. I'm gonna go on there and see if I can watch it one day. But you know, Napoleon was the one that took masonry into Egypt, Egyptian masonry. He was the one that went in there and started plundering. He was the one that came and brought them scientists that started talking about the Hermetic hypotheses. All of that came under Napoleon. You know, it's a shame, but also, you know, Napoleon, you know, I found out that Hamanaka got some of my, well, DNA is connected to Napoleon. You know, I strike that from the record. I strike that from the record, family. You know, and I got a couple of my strike from the record. You know, because actually they called Champollion a Moor too. Some people have. You know, so who knows? Because the Moors did settle in France. So maybe, I don't know. But he was called a Moor. Let me see. Creator of the boundless universe, honors to you, family. Honors to all y'all, especially I love y'all participation and y'all transliteration. You see how easy it was for us to create an alphabet real quick. Our family at Vergus Taylor, one question: how can Champollion decipher something when he's not from Alpha and it doesn't make? That's right. That's what I'm saying. How in the world could this man decipher anything? And that's what I'm talking about. They accept what he's saying, but they're gonna throw HERUPHANT, who was an actual Egyptian priest, stuff away. That don't make no sense. But you know, the European can get away with it. You know, that's why Prophet Noble Ali told the Moors, he said, Moors, when you get the pen in your hand, you write the history. I even strike Obama from the record too. You know, I'm related to Obama too in the DNA, right? Him and Ralph Bunche and Nelson Mandela. Let me see right here. Yeah, Emerald Tablet talk about the door at the foot of the Sphinx. That's right. That's there. That's right. That's where the tablet was found at. Noble Ali came out through the paws of the Sphinx. The sun was rising when he came up out that demonstration, family. People don't know it's underground, a tunnel that lead from the Sphinx to the pyramid. It's underground chambers, and that's initiation pathway. You know, the silent majority that's actually over there are the ones that initiate whom they will. And they said Noble Drew Ali was the reincarnation of the last living Nasut, basically. You know, he was the one. Brother P. Nathaniel Johnson called him the reincarnation of Amun Ra. It ain't strange because Amun Ra is another name that connects to the name Mar or more. Powerful. You know, so yeah. So gratitude, family. I see our family, you know, they laying it down. I respect it. It's 5 o'clock. You know, that's right. The halls of a minty, good brother. That's right. Yes, sir. You know, that's what we call second Aru. You know, second Allah is another name they use, and it's called third heaven, the adept chamber. You know, so at this time, we're going to close this demonstration down, but make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe. You know, we're going to keep bringing this information on the manifest. We don't get tired, you know, and we hope y'all don't get tired of the information, because that's the duty of all of us. If we have the knowledge, the keys of civilization in the hands of the Moors, and we here to bring it to you. We ain't going to mislead you, misguide you. We ain't shying away from bringing this information out. We giving it to the people. So peace and love, family. To the next time, y'all already know what it is. We love you. Shemotepu Unkwajet Sanel. Life, health, and prosperity be upon you. Peace of the ancestors I offer you.